everyone, Glyne here to talk about the final trend in our 2023 L&D trend report, and that is the recession rethink. One of the biggest challenges for L&D professionals is having organizations not see that investing in people is a cost center on the overhead side of the balance sheet and instead an investment center that is a long-term strategic play. That's always going to be a tricky challenge when belts get tightening. So as we think about what we can do, one of the biggest things that I think we can do as L&D folks is to start to think about consistency. One of the challenges when you're in L&D and you are a natural, curious learner, I think most L&D professionals have a very growth mindset, which means we're always hungry for new things. The challenge with that is when left unchecked, that strength becomes a weakness and it can become shiny object syndrome. So we start to get bored of the programs that we've put in place in organizations and start feeling the need to add a new program or a new assessment or a new coaching process. When what's happening with those that are sitting in the line is that they're still trying to absorb the last thing they just went through. They're still trying to practice the last program you delivered to them. So what happens is that they never really get that traction. It's sort of like in Jim Collins's book, Good to Great, where he talks about the greatest organizations were able to create a flywheel effect by being consistent and following a practice and not diverting off because they thought things weren't working or they got bored with the way they were doing things. I think there's a really big lesson in that for L&D. And what the recession is going to allow a lot of folks to do is to really step back and assess what are the things that are really strategically driving the business, and what are the things, particularly for programs where we're trying to shift mindset behaviors, which if you've got a DEIB initiative, if you've got a change initiative, if you've got leaders having to move from one, or level of the organization to another, those are all change initiatives. Those are all behavior change initiatives and mindset and belief system shift initiatives. With those types of initiatives, you need to have a long-term plan. We cannot be thinking about development in a event-based sort of mindset. So that's a place to look. What are the things that are feeding my long-term? And then what are the nice to-dos, interesting topics, interesting concept? That was an interesting assessment, but nobody's using it. They sat it on the shelf. Those are the opportunities to start to cull and cut when we're being asked to pull back. But don't I'm going to say cut off your nose to spite your face, my mother's expression. We don't want to be short shrifting investments that we've made over the long term and, keeping short term, maybe cheaper programs that really don't have longer term staying power impact. So love to hear what your thoughts on the recession rethink and your thoughts on any of the trends that we've focused on this year. We will be revisiting them at the back end of the year. Love to hear your thoughts along the way this year. What are you seeing coming up for 2024? Maybe we'll feature one of your trends next year. And thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, if you need help with behavior change, mindset shifting, group and team coaching is definitely the way to go. And don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us on our team here at the Roundtable. Thanks so much.